The octoBox is a small, stackable anechoic chamber used for testing wireless devices and systems. It isolates the device under test from external interferences and creates a stable environment to achieve repeatable throughput measurements. Engineers most often use the octoBox to measure throughput of the new 802.11ac or 4G MIMO devices, but the octoBox testbed can be configured for mesh testing, high-speed roaming, and other wireless tests as well. The octoBox can be used for testing Wi-Fi, 2G, 3G, 4G, GPS, and other such devices. It offers ideal conditions for multi-stream MIMO and supports the operating frequencies from 700 MHz all the way up to 6 GHz. Each octoBox comes equipped with 8 RF ports, either SMA or N connectors. Typically, 4 of the 8 ports are used for the 4x4 MIMO signal. The other 4 ports can be used to inject interference or for monitoring. The multipath emulator uses long RF cables to emulate the multipath reflections in a typical house. Instead of the signal bouncing between the walls, the signal bounces between a discontinuity and a shorted end of the RF cable. The multipath emulator frequency response and power delay profile closely model the IEEE 802.11 standards for a typical house. The octoBox quad attenuator modules are digitally programmable solid-state attenuators. Each of the 4 attenuators in a module can be independently controlled or programmed via USB or Ethernet. The attenuator range from 0 to 63 dB with steps of half a dB provides an accurate and broad sweep of receiver dynamic range down to the lowest levels. Any copper wires such as USB, Ethernet, HDMI, etc. can act as antennas coupling interference between the outside and the test environment. So any copper cables entering the octoBox enter through filters. Power and ventilation are also filtered. Vents are made of honeycomb waveguide structure to provide isolation at all the operating frequencies. The test automation software controls the turntable, the attenuators, and the traffic generation between the device and the testbed, and produces an Excel-based plot that engineers can easily manipulate. Multi-chamber stackable testbeds have been constructed to emulate multi-room homes, mesh networks, and high-mobility multi-node robotic networks. The stackable, extensible octoBox architecture has been optimized for constructing large testbeds. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact us.